Welcoming you back to Crypto's juiciest news, baby dolls. I've got a cracker episode here for you today. I've got to throw it out for you right now. Jim Cramer is bearish on crypto, which is beautiful. So we are now destined to rise. We're going to speak about major losers' comments on the economy. He's been speaking. He's quite dovish. What did he say? We're going to speak more about some MetaMask upgrades, stablecoin super cycle, President Pump as well, and big news for Pulse Chain community. Richard Hart has, for the first time, started to reply to people in the comment section. I've got all of that juicy stuff coming for you, but firstly, BTC's monthly candle. It is still red. We did recover back to green, which is beautiful before, so it's a very, very nice, it's quite a doji candle. A lot of people are worried about next year. What we can now do is move on to the short-term price action. If you recall, friends, this is Bitcoin on a 4-hour as well, friends. So all these indicators, they're not indicators, okay? It just because I'm lazy, it marks the previous week high and low and the previous month high and low. So you just get an idea. Are you like breaking from a range or within a range? That's what you want to see. Do you see the yellow, big yellow line? That's the previous month high and low. Do you see that? That's beautiful, isn't it? We are back within the range. It's really cool, right? That's actually really, really, really cool that we are still within the range. Now, do you remember what I said yesterday? Actually, if you said it over the weekend, we were down here. I said, well, we've seen this before, right? There's been enormous liquidations, minimum 20 billion. The exchanges, friends, the exchanges, they underreport because it's the kind of like, you know, it's like if imagine a hospital got paid whenever somebody died. You know, imagine like a funeral director paid a hospital whenever somebody died. The funeral, the hospital doesn't really want to tell everybody, hey, we killed 400 patients last month. They don't want to tell you that. They're like, oh, we only killed like 6. You know what I mean? So what I've told you now is now we have these forced liquidations out, which is very, very unfortunate, okay? We expected the price action to come up and to be jittery. And friends, let's just show you the Trump insider whale, that Garrett Jin guy, he started shorting again here. All right. And then actually he got out. I've just got a report for you a few hours ago. He's got out. Actually, like literally 1 or 2 hours ago. He just closed out his shorts. His second short. So they played for this short insider. They try to play for the next leg. He's out now. I wonder if that pretty much means the go has been given and everything's going to move. Trump also said he's going to meet with President Winnie the Pooh in a month. So actually just in a few weeks. Okay, so that's giving you the short-term price action stuff. Remember Ethereum, friends, Ethereum on the monthly as well. Ethereum is still above its wedge here. Hopefully it's destined for greatness higher at around 4,100 American dollars. To show you some short-term Ethereum price action too, Ethereum is doing a very nice higher-low rounding up here. This is meth. It's good. This, friends, remember I told you this is the higher-low. I mean, literally, it's textbook. You come out, you wipe it out, and then it moves up. There's going to be jitters, and everyone's going to think it's over. Everyone's saying we're going for lower out here. So that's pretty much, I think, what's coming next is we're going to come on grind higher. Now, there's just a debate, right? Let's play some Crankagee music. Something to think about. Did we get rid of the 4-year cyclers? Did we get rid of them? It's very hard to actually conclude anything, but I feel like we definitely made a big, giant dent in the 4-year cycle believers. Because, see, friends, a lot of the 4-year cycle believers, they were the ones doing the leverage 3x longs. They had long-term leverage positions of long. Why? When we're getting towards the end of the 4-year cycle, right, we're actually there now. It's been 1,064 days plus since the bottom, right? So they were all leveraged long, hoping for the final 3x. But if you do a 3x leverage long, if you have 3x leverage and you get a 3x from here, it's about 10. See, everyone wanted that nice around 10x number. They want to just make 10x their money and walk away. I actually know this from earlier in this year, actually, and beginning of last year. Everyone expected about a 10x on others BTC if you estimate everything. So everyone wanted like a 10x, right? So the exchanges liquidated everyone. Okay, there's been a lot of information as well. Binance not looking good. There's a lot of nasty stuff that happened with Binance. Binance could have just been CZ trying to wipe out Hyperliquid. It could have been that. Okay, that was their emergency button press. And I feel like they were just, the exchange cabal, they were doing this years ago. But because we haven't seen such an enormous one so far, I think this one got out of hand. That's what my guess is. And I'll speak more about it later. Here we have, so this is Ethereum's price action. This is really good. Okay, we want to see this thing hold, go up and trade here, and then Bob's your uncle. Literally, that'll be great for Ethereum to 4,300 plus if we continue there as well. So the Bitcoin dominance, friends, a very interesting chart. Bitcoin dominance just obviously rejected massive wick up here, even on the monthly chart. Bitcoin dominance is pretty much, friends, is pretty much almost red. I hope it finishes red by the end. Still got 2 weeks in the month. You know what I mean? Like if that couldn't make Bitcoin dominance go up, hopefully this bottom does that. But, you know, no one's going to get out right. Everyone's going to say, oh, it's going to feel the wick. It's going to feel the wick. Okay, yeah, but these people, whatever. They're always going to say that. Everyone says, oh, feel the wick, feel the wick. So, you know, most of the time they do. But I also want to remind you as well, I covered it yesterday. The last time Bitcoin dominance on the monthly chart did a similar candle, which was a huge wick, which was, here we go, May 2020. All right, the last time Bitcoin dominance did this, it literally dropped from the close. Bitcoin dominance dropped 13%. Right? It dropped 13%. You had 3 red monthly candles in a row. So maybe that's what we get. If we drop 13% from that point, it'll be funny. We go down to 51% Bitcoin dominance in the next 3 months. You know, you never know. We might stop here and then everyone thinks it's over. And actually what happens is there's like a mini retrace. Everyone thinks it's over. And then we go for alt season wave 2. You know, maybe. We don't know. It's a believer cycle. I'm still holding. Also, funny, we got Crypto here. Chris, friends, I mean, talk about bear market scares. Crypto now has a health channel. It's called, he's renamed himself to Chris Health pretty much. He's doing like a health channel. I think he's got like over 1,000 or 2,000 Bitcoin as well. He's been, so it's not like he's poor or anything. He's got like $15 million in his long-term swing trade. But also just be careful, friends, you know, so like, friends, look, it's hard because, you know, a lot of these people, they come out and they say, you know, I'm a good person, or, you know, like, you know, I pray every day and I give to charity and stuff out here. But then, here's the thing, friends, I don't judge anybody, all right? I don't judge anybody. I am telling you, though, like, they are all sending people to the slaughterhouse. They know it. I know it. You know it. The exchange owners know it. Everyone knows it. They are sending people to their deaths. Trading has a 1% survivor rate. 1%. I don't care who the crowd favorites of the community are, like Trader Main or Crypto. I don't care. I don't care who says, who talks about. I don't give a crap. All right, I'll stand up for myself. It's a 1% survivor rate. 1%. And they come out here, friends. You gotta listen between the language. They go, oh, don't trust all these guys who just tell you to be bullish. Bro, sit down. You are scum for opening your mouth. Just don't draw attention to yourself. 1% survivor rate. 1%. If you had 100 family members, would you feed 99 of them poison, knowing that one's maybe going to survive? No, you wouldn't. And then go blame and gaslight your family members. Well, I told you to use the stop. Bro, they just ignored the stops. The slippage was like 40% itself. There was no book. The market makers pulled the book. I told you to just use your stop. Friends, if you give a knife and a gun and a grenade to 6 kids in a sandbox, and one of them pulls the grenade and blows up, do you go and then tell the parents, I told your 6-year-old daughter, don't pull the pin. You know, I told them, play with the grenade responsibly. You know, friends, I'm very passionate about this because, like, I know you're confused. A lot of people are confused. They're like, but Tommy, these people are nice. But people are nice. Yeah, I don't give a shit if you think they're nice, bro. It's a 1% survivorship rate. I traded in a pop firm. I was trainee number 112, okay? And friends, I know that, friends, literally, we would hire like 3 groups of like 12 people. 1 or 2 are there left after you. That's in a prop firm, bro. In a prop firm where everyone's talking about trading and you have all the edge. I can't imagine how terrible the rates are out there. It's less than 1%, okay? And they're still doing it. And they're like, hey, come do this grid bot trading. Come sign up to this leverage trading. You know, you can make money up and down. James Wynn is now posting that. Friends, I don't give a shit, bro. I don't give friends. Remember, my Dungeons and Dragons personality trait, I'm chaotic good. Chaotic means right? I don't look at the law. I make the decisions for myself. Yeah, it's legal to do that. Yes, it's okay as long as you tell people don't hurt yourself. You can do that. I don't give a shit, bro. I don't care. Not under my household. It's very important, friends. But look, I know, because a lot of people are like, yeah, but the altcoins have been going down, believing long term. I get it, bro. I get it. It's hard. You know, you can make your own decision. I'm holding. That's it. I don't care. I don't care. Habibi. Friends, let's play some angel music as well. Let's play some angel music. Habibi, they literally sent altcoins down 70% in 5 minutes. 70% in 5 minutes, bro. All the liquidity got pulled. You can't get out, forced out, there goes your money. You don't even have enough time to check your phone so you could go deposit collateral. All gone. It's a cabal. They all know it. Friends, you honestly think these people who know how to talk and look at stable coins and look at code and research all this crypto and look at the tech of PUI and zero knowledge, do you think these people who discover Bitcoin in the money supply system, you think, oh, golly gee, I understood the intricacies of the financial system and Bitcoin and crypto, but for some reason, I've just not learned the information that less than 1% of people survive when they do leverage trading. Oh, wow. And coincidentally, this fact, which is so convenient to ignore because they make so much money of it. Oh, they're able to learn everything in the industry but that for 5 years, even though we've only seen 2 massive giant liquidation sprees every single year by the exchanges. Check this out, friends. Let's talk about some bullish stuff. We got major bullish alert. So Jim Cramer says he hopes money can be taken out of crypto and put into real economy stocks. Amazing. He also says the crypto and speculative tail is wagging the S&P dog. So what he's basically saying is crypto's so dog shit because it went down, it's dragging down the S&P 500. That's what he's saying. So literally, he's given us like a double bullish indicator inverse Jim Cramer alert here. That's why I'm confident we're going to hold those lows, those higher lows I've shown you, friends. That's why I'm confident about that. Okay, literally, like the universe is just telling us all of this is great. You got to remember, friends. You really got to look. I don't care if no one listens. I don't care. Okay, people have to go listen their own way. Okay, but I'll tell you now. Okay, this is the tragedy of the comments. Okay. Most crypto people follow advice from people who are in a portfolio defensive mode now, okay? Right? They're not taking risks to enhance their ranking position. And so people think that this person's successful and succeeding and everything's great, so they're just going to keep following it. But when this whole crypto cycle's done, you just go back, you look at the scoreboard. I know this, friends. I know this. I'm here every single day. You can't go back and rewind time. You cannot go back and get those cheap prices. You just can't. Now, yes, we've been waiting a long time. A lot of people are calling for the end of the crypto cycle right now. I'm still holding. I don't think PMI is high enough. I'm very happy with the AI infrastructure. I don't see any bubble speculation stuff in AI at all. It's just literally all, they're building warehouses and infrastructure and GPU units. I don't see any silly willy pets.com equivalent in AI whatsoever as well. And it's also funny, friends. A lot of the people who said that 2023 was going to be another bear market for crypto and altcoin and Bitcoin was going to crash to 5K. Those people, you know what they were saying? They said, don't fight the Fed because the US Fed, friends, remember, started hiking rates in 2023, but Bitcoin went up anyway. So it's funny. How come when I now say don't fight the Fed, they say, oh, no, this time is different. When they cut rates, it's because the recession's coming. I'm saying, wait a minute. So when they hike rates, you say the recession's coming. And now when they cut rates, you say the recession's coming. They're sideline, friends. There's no logic there, okay? They're following the crowd. Look, do you want to be right or do you want to make money? Friends, I can be right. If I wanted a 99% win rate, I could be right. Friends, I could spend literally all day just charting altcoins that show, oh, this thing's going to drop within 24 months. And I just get the rule out. You don't make money that way though, do you? Okay? You can only make money if you're a grifting charlatan, giving people the false sense of security because you're a confidence man, otherwise known as con man. Okay, and then people follow you because they think, oh, this guy's got a 99% win rate. Oh, he's always right about stuff. Oh, these things are going to keep going down forever. Thank you, thank you, thank you. Yeah, you're making that grifter richer and wealthier. And then they take on less risk over time. They lose their touch. You know? I got nothing to sell. I don't give a shit, friends. I literally don't give a shit. You saw me with pDAI. I was bleeding subscribers. Bleeding. Don't give a shit. Check this out as well, friends. So Richard Hart has replied to Pulse Chain community via tweet comments and tells Corey Spaghetti Meatballs to stop cryfagging. Now, this word cryfagging, I had no idea it was Richard who said it. I just went into my Telegram and I was laughing because I was laughing in bed. I was laughing uncontrollably. I'm like, cryfagging? I had no idea where it came from. I thought it was with Mr. Scooter McGavin from my Telegrams, whoever it was who posted it. I thought he was just browsing 4chan. Cryfagging. Friend, I'm not joking. I look at this word. I'm like, man, I was waiting for another word out there to enter the lexicon of humans, which is on par with like cuckold, calling someone a cuck. Because the cuckoo bird, just so you guys, a lot of people don't know, friends, the cuckoo bird literally goes, it lays its eggs in another, it goes, puts its eggs in another nest, and it gets like another male bird to raise it for it. So that's why we call people cucks. But to call them cryfagging is oh man, that's good, because the FAG word, a lot of it's censored everywhere. But that's why it's genius. You've turned it into a verb. You've turned it into a verb, and you put it in the middle of the word, which is great. It's multi-layered genius. I won't be surprised if this word becomes like one of the new viral ones to say someone's cryfagging, because it demasculates someone straight away. Those are the most powerful words of all, just to let you know. When words are used to demasculate, because most people talking shit are just the guys, right? Girls have different levels of how they're more like passive aggressive, but guys we're very aggressive, right? So it's like fighting fire with fire. That's why these words, they're very interesting, how humans, how we use it to communicate. So I want to show you the tweet that Richard was replying to. So Corey replied with Richard, and then Richard replied, "If I see your ass cryfagging about me not being here one more single time, I'm leaving your ass blocked. Do yourself a favor. Go look up the president's coin chart. Imagine you had bought that. The crying and the whining you'd be doing. It would be crazy." Okay, so that's why we all joke. They go, "We are back. We are so back." Honestly, it is funny. The most perfect person in the community to do it to is Corey. It is Corey. And Corey immediately owns it. He's made tweaks about it. Everyone just keeps using this word, cryfagging. There was a pump tires token made of it, and people are gambling, and probably going to get old in like 24 hours. But, you know, welcome to the casino. So, yes, he actually did make some tweets as well. He made one about pDAI. He made a comment about pDAI as well, which I'll quickly just show you. Are you going to peg pDAI? pDAI is literally garbage, and lots of literal garbage has had its price go up in crypto, so good luck. Friend, my general interpretation, I've left a special message in my Telegram only, but just as a general hint, okay? Richard's Twitter is not what you think, okay? I just want to let you know, many people have sold their Pulse chain and they're waiting on the sidelines, okay? They've sold and they think that they're going to front run the rest of everyone by waiting for Richard to like change and activate his Twitter and become nice. And then he say, "Oh, I'm going to be inserting lots of money," and then they're going to get in, okay? So I don't want to disturb the process of how I think things are going to happen, okay? But I'll just say I don't think people are going to get a real chance to front run in the way that they all think. Okay, now a lot of people are in disbelief of what they say. They're like, "Oh yeah, cope. That's what you want, though. That's what you want." So that's why I'm just showing you. We don't need to do anything. You just need, but that's like they're all watching Richard's Twitter to see. Oh, when he switches, I'm gonna get back in. I'm gonna front run all the other suckers. I'm gonna dump on the community and stuff out here. So even his tweet, which I'll go through yummy updates later. He's even like basically admitting, "Oh, Pulse Chain's kind of a failure. The PRC tokens suck." Remember, friends, as well, PHEX is a PRC20 token. It's funny, when he says PRC20 tokens are dog shit, people automatically think, "Oh, pDAI." And I remind everyone, dude, you know PHEX is a PRC20 token. But then everyone's like, no, he's not talking about that. He's talking about your one. So it's selective. Basically, people just hear what they want to hear. Okay, but you got to understand, like, he doesn't even need to be saying any of this. I personally, I ignore all of this. This is like, he's not talking to us. He's literally It's a chess move, okay? That's pretty much, that's what I see. Oh, it could go to zero. Whatever, the whole chain could go to zero, but I'm still holding. Now, major loser Powell has commented on the economy. So he's done a good comment. He's saying, oh, jobs are looking pretty weak out there. When they start saying that, friends, that means he's going to cut rates. They're confident they're going to cut rates. They're going to keep cutting rates. And funny enough, actually, look at this. The US rate cut expectations for the next 2 years. This is the US 2-year Fed funds rate. Look at this, friends. It's actually gapped down on his comments. You see that? Now it's definitely in the 3 rate cut area. Look at this. 2 days ago, it was between 2 and 3 rate cuts. That's about 0.62% cut. Now it's around 0. So exactly 0.75 is literally exactly 3 cuts. So it's literally come down to exactly 3 cuts from his comments. So see, the market's already reacting to like, oh, he's very dovish. Like, we're definitely getting 3 cuts by the way he's talking. And I think that's going to be a big boost for crypto because everything's quite tight. Some people like it tight, but, you know, we like our economies loose. Also, friends, I'll play some Pumpy G music because you deserve it. But I got to remind you as well. Friends, you got to remember, okay, look, Richard Hart, he's not like, oh, just an average guy who enjoys eating sandwiches and he's just like tweeting stuff. No, you don't understand, dude. He's a CEO of a company, okay? Just, it's metaphorical, okay? Because we're decentralized, but he's got to talk to people all at the same time. All right, so he's got to use open code, number 1. Number 2, he's got to reward believers. But the problem is there's a lot of people who just want to front run everyone else. Okay, so he's got chess moves at play with how he does things. Okay, and obviously that's why, like, it's a matter of belief. You either think he does it or he doesn't. Okay, you think he does this or he doesn't. If you think he doesn't do this, like, you really think he's retardio. You know, people call him stupid and stuff out here. Whatever, he's silly. He's a scammer. That's what most people think. Okay, I don't think so whatsoever, right? Look, and I know this for a fact, friends, there are a lot of people who I thought would never sell, they've sold. All right, I can't believe I'm like, whoa, man, if I've admitted, like, if I've seen, like, you know, that person admit, you know, that they've sold, I'm like, wow, I never thought you would. I never thought you would. Because emotions just get the most of you over time. Check it out as well, friends. So major loser Jerome Powell says he will not comment on Bitcoin or gold. We think inflation is driven by fundamental supply and demand factors. Now, that is a big fat lie. Inflation is not driven by supply and demand, okay? Inflation is always driven by the money supply, okay? However, when they print the money, it depends on where it goes. It doesn't seep into the economy straight away, okay? So the central bank, remember, the central bankers, they have ultimate power over everyone. They will never, ever tell the world or any country that the money supply causes the inflation, ever. Because if they did, people, instead of demanding a wage increase of 3% every year, they would demand what the money supply is growing at, which is 8%. So if wages go up 8%, yeah, and the money supply goes up 8%, there's no money to be made for the insiders and nobody can pay off the debt. No one wins. Okay, sorry, like basically, yeah, no one wins, but the central bank, they always want to win. They have to win. Okay, otherwise, the debt doesn't get paid off and the powerful don't keep becoming more powerful. So I hope I make myself clear with that. So this is the M2, this is the money supply, okay? So a central bank, friends, will never, ever admit to you that this going up causes inflation, ever. In fact, Feds, the US Fed in 2021, they stopped reporting on the money supply balance sheet rate. They stopped reporting it. It used to be reported like every month or every week. Then they changed it to every 3 months. Yeah. Just to tell you, they know. Of course they know. That's why they pay the economists, they pay the media to tell you, oh, there's no scientific data to suggest the money supply has something to do with the inflation. Bunch of BS, okay? But the population, they eat up into it, okay? So who cares? You and I were holding scarce assets. MetaMask are going to integrate the world's largest crypto prediction platform, Polymarket, which is interesting. I'll just show for you this video, friends. So why it's important so you can think like a normie. You see right here, this is it. Check this out though. So friends, see how it's yes or no? See how it's yes or no? I think this is it's got a good chance to be some sort of real big adoption for retail in the proper bull market, because retail, they're like, oh, what's a long, what's a short, what's an upper, like they can understand kind of up or down, but what's margin, what's leverage, they don't get it. Prediction markets are amazing because it sets up the game so that you know what you're buying. You're buying a future dollar. All right. So if something, you can buy something at 98 cents for a future $1. Yeah. You're betting on the favor. Or you could buy something at 20 cents to try get a future $1. So everyone always knows the profit target's always the same. It just depends how much you pay for it. Right? It's always capped at $1. It's what pDAI is. That's why pDAI is very... retail just love it, okay? Prediction market meta. People having this awakening of how we can organize bets into making the future payout $1. And then you just change how much the thing costs over time. So like, obviously, because unit bias is really good. Everybody understands what $1 is, right? So like, if I said to, like, this is most people retailers, right? This is most people, yeah. If something is $1,000 but has a 1,000x upside, people don't relate to that anywhere near as much as if you told them, hey, this thing is 30 cents and the future payout's $1. Yeah, even though the 1,000x is like, oh, 1,000's bigger than 3, but no, they relate to, oh, so it's a future dollar. They could truly understand it. They don't doubt it as much. So prediction markets coming. They're probably going to change everything. Every nation, probably sports bets are going to come in there. Friends, why prediction markets, why they're important. When you and I, if you go if you go to the bookies, you can't sell the bets. You have to just accept what they're doing. It's like buying options. You can't sell the option. All right? You can't sell the odds. You have to hit into them. You basically have to pay their prices. However, with prediction markets, you can now play a high probability game. Okay? You can then take bets of yourself. You can be the one who participates almost like the market maker. That's why it's P2P betting. That's why the game will change. Now, Binance have launched, friends, another news. Binance have launched a $400 million Together initiative to restore confidence, offering a $4,000 to $6,000 USDC payout to users and a $100 million loan fund for institutions. Some Twitter reply guys are saying this is an admission of guilt regarding the Black Swan liquidation event. So let me know what you think, friends. Like Binance coming out, handing out $400 million. I know, yeah, it's good, but like billions were made, by the way. It feels like it's almost like, that's why some people are saying it feels like it's an admission of guilt. Because a lot of the data show there's a lot of dodgy stuff happening on Binance. There were Wintermute wallets. Nobody believes in Wintermute's always like, oh, we are delta neutral. No, depends. I hope Wintermute literally just goes under in the next bear market because the amount of disgusting stuff that they do, very predatory. They get given like 5 to 10% supply. But also like, it's like who do you blame? The criminal that fired the bullet or the criminal that stood in the door and opened the door and beat the victims up first? They're both complicit. You know what I mean? So it's a criminal, the token creator, and and Wintermute always the hired hitman to do this stuff. But yeah, look, I just told you, leverage exchanges, dude. That's how they make all their money. That's how they make all their money. They liquidate everybody. They get high volume done. They take slippage on all the coins. Everyone gets rinsed. All the KOs know it, and they keep sending everybody to their deaths. Okay, I don't like it. I don't like it. I don't like just going out to everybody, hey, do this, do this. Imagine how absurd it would be. Imagine you kept telling people, hey, quit your job, quit your family, come try to be a professional basketball player. You definitely, don't worry, it'll be great. You just got to shoot some good hoops. You're like a 5'3" Filipino dude. You're 48. You got 4 kids. Don't worry, leave them at home. Come to the basketball court. You can become a professional basketball player. You see how absurd that sounds? That is exactly when they say, oh, come and trade on the exchange. It's the same thing. 1% survival rate over the long run. 1%. Yeah. Every day, friends, it's 60-40. So every day, 40% win. Actually, 40% win. So only 40% are winning, 60% are losing because of the slippage and the brokerage. Okay. That's every one day. Every day, 40, 60. But over 12 months, it's literally 1 to 5%. It's 1%. It's not. It's literally 1% have a positive account. 1% from 12 months ago. 1. BNB Chain have launched a $45 million airdrop to compensate meme coin traders affected by the recent market crash, distributing tokens to 160,000 addresses. So yeah, man, I think it's very obvious. Like just seeing all this information, the Black Swan event, man. Like they've lost their coins. They're gone. Also, sadly, but yeah, this is now the safest time to get back in. However, everyone's forced out. That's why a lot of people are like, oh, be careful of leverage. No, Habibi, you don't understand, bro. Everybody was on cross collateral, right? So they literally got liquidated for their whole account. They got no money left. They've been wiped. They've been nuked. Like Mr. Pickle lost 75% of his entire net worth. Many people lost 50, 75%. A few people lost 1 million, 2 million, 3 million, all of it gone. It's heartbreaking. We have to avoid leverage, friends. We have to avoid these exchanges. That's why we built crypto. You know, but I know we want altcoins to go up to make people believe that they should be off the exchanges. You know, it doesn't help when all the things are going down, but whatever. BlackRock CEO Larry Fink says the firm is developing its own technology for asset tokenization. Real world assets, stablecoin super cycle. Okay, asset tokenization. JP Mosquito says it will allow clients to trade crypto. Custody will follow, but not in the near-term horizon. They're probably going to do custody then. They just don't want to let their competitors know. So JP Mosquito allowing customers to trade Bitcoin and Ethereum. It's going to really open up the world for more volume and trading, and hopefully you get to trap everybody in the big bull market. President Trump says BRICS are an attack on the US dollar. All right, so remember, because the BRICS are coming and they're backing their currencies with gold, US Trump, either someone's going to get invaded or they're really going to push for stablecoin super cycle, man. Really, really, really push. But they want to force the world to bid the US dollar. But I don't know, man, because we got open source stuff. We can use our own ones. So we'll see. Stripe has added crypto stablecoin payments for subscriptions. This is big as well. We're starting to see stablecoins everywhere, man. That's beautiful. A lot of people have said, Somi, what if pDAI becomes a thing one day? It's not a stable coin. You don't, Habibi, you don't understand as well. Like, pDAI will be on PulseX. PulseX, decentralized, public source software. Okay? Open source, public, free, can't be stopped. Okay? If this pDAI is trading on PulseX in a liquidity pair, nobody can stop you from swapping this to, say, USDC and then loading your card. It's just one step removed. You get it? And it's actually what you want, because they can disable your USDC. They can't disable your pDAI. Isn't that really cool? It is very cool. If I was a billionaire, I would want an OIP stablecoin as a hedge. Ownerless, immutable, permissionless. I personally would want it. Justin Sun, friends, you've seen the way he sucks a banana. What if one day Justin gets framed by the government, but they say, oh, we saw Justin with a 14-year-old boy. His Excellency. They could just pin him on that. They took out Charlie Kirk. Why couldn't they do that? And they'll just be blasting. You know, friends, that picture of Justin's son eating banana? You've seen that, friends. Like, or imagine you just wake up one day and you just see this picture and you're like, yes, I want all the bananas in the world, friends. They disable him. Bang. You saw what they did, by the way, with World Liberty Finance. They disabled $200 million of his World Liberty Finance. 200 million disabled. What do you think Tether would do? USDC. They all have the admin function. They just blacklist immediately. If I were them, if I was Justin, let's say I enjoyed choking on bananas. Friends, I love bananas, vitamin B. I think he not only likes enjoy eating them, he likes choking on them, okay? By the way, he is gay. He admitted that as well. So that's why it makes it even more funny. So, Justin, yeah, maybe you've got, $100 million of spare stablecoin sitting out there. Why wouldn't you keep 10 million in pDAI just in case? Of course you would. What if they disabled all of it? Just in case. The US government has seized $15 billion worth of Bitcoin from a pig butchering scam based in Cambodia. Wow. I don't know what the story is there. Must have been some big scam network. They accumulated a lot of Bitcoin. So that's awesome. This is Jim Cramer looking out there. He's like, what should I be bearish on today? Thank God he's bearish on crypto. Thank you to Mr. J Plush as well, friends. But firstly, here's Mark. Richard Hart is a first-class narcissistic. See you next Tuesday. I hope Interpol get him before somebody like me. Come on, Mark. You have to rise above this, bro. Okay? He even said don't use his Twitter. Dude, you calm down. It's going to be all right. Richard doesn't control the business cycle. He doesn't control the Ethereum price. He doesn't control the Russell 2000. He doesn't control the US Fed. They are all the contributing factors for overwhelmingly most of the crypto economy. Okay? Yes, you can cherry pick one coin here, two coins here. You can cherry pick them. I can cherry pick 5 to 10 coins. Who gives a crap, bro? There's another like 800 that are still unresponsive. I'm still holding. It's been long cycle, but I think you're making a mistake if you think like he's really actually in control, you know? What Richard's guilty of is giving you hope. Yeah, it's actually like giving you direct hope. That's pretty much what you think about what is guilty, or what is guilty of. The other people, other token holders just don't know how to communicate. Thank you to Mr. J Push for his comment here. The racist Russell 2000 silently poked a new all-time high and also closed a new daily all-time high. No one's talking about it. Blockchain backer didn't even tweet. Sir, thank you so much. And I think that is actually very appropriate here. Very important. Here we have the racist Russell 2000. Whoa. Wow. What a big move. From the low to the high, it had a 3.8% candle. Wow. This is enormous, man. 2.8% close. There you go, friends. I think this is pretty much it. The PMI is going to go up. Look at that. Look at that. It went up, scammed, went up, scammed. Third time. This is the all-time high. So thank you very much, Mr. J. See, Marky, like the basic indicators that we need, it's showing you that PMI is recovering up now. You know, it's coinciding with the Fed cutting rates and stuff. It's not going to flash up straight away, although anything can happen. But yeah, man, it's great. And come on, bro, we just forced out $19 billion of our buy pressure. We forced it out. Yeah, like the biggest one before that was only it was 2.2 billion. We just forced out literally 22 billion, 10x more than the previous largest one in history. Yeah, I mean, like there's nobody left to sell, dude. There's nobody left. I hate to say it. I don't say this often, but yes, Max Payne is actually up. Just like on FTX. FTX blew up at the bottom. Max Payne was Bitcoin going up. It did. So Max Payne's actually up. Like, subscribe, Billy Button, or catch you soon.